Hi, everyone. Let's see. This will be a shorter time than our usual meditation time. Um, I'm trying to find what I was just reading. Okay. So I'm reading this book right now. I just started it. A big book called The Kala Chakra Mandala. And it is a rather large companion to the yoga teacher training that I'm in now on Vajrayana yoga, Vajra yoga. But so I just started reading this book, and I thought it was interesting because I've had some thoughts around Reiki actually and the Reiki symbols. So Reiki is something that I've been doing for a very long time since I did all my Reiki training and became a Reiki master in 2000, between 2002 and 2000, maybe 2001 and 2003 or four. I don't remember, but I did it within a 2 year or 1.5 year period. I found a teacher, my teacher Suchinta, and I went through all my Reiki training with her and became a Reiki master, Reiki teacher. So within the practice of Reiki, there's the way she taught it basically, and the way that I continue to teach it is that there's 4 levels. And in the second and third and master level, there are symbols. So in these symbols uh create different effects. So I've been teaching and working with these symbols for a really long time. And then, I started on this yoga teacher training and tying together a little bit. It's very in depth to me. Some of my call that I've had to Tibetan Buddhism for years, and then, continuing to teach Reiki and digging back into some of my old books and finding that some of these, and one of the books in particular is connecting Reiki back to Tibetan Buddhism. So somewhere inside of me is feeling this connection with the symbols and mandala, uh, that they're almost like labyrinths into the healing aspect within ourselves, right? To be used as these gateways into a deeper understanding. Anyway, that's making a long story longer. So I'm reading in this book, okay, the Kala Chakra Mandala, okay, and in the beginning, and they're talking about, so the most commonly cited Buddhist definition of a mandala comes from a tantra called Sambodhi. Okay, don't worry about knowing what any of that means. Vairochana means indestructible. So that's something that if you've been coming to meditation classes, that's something that we practice as our 7-point posture of Vairochana. So the indestructible posture. Anyway, so a little context. For example, the early Gaelic writer Dragpa Gyaltsen refers to this as the basis of his definition in his text on Sarvavid Vairochana meditation. Okay, ready? So just whatever with all that. Mandala means leading to the essence. Okay. Isn't that interesting? That's really what this whole thing was about. Mandala means leading to the essence. As it says in the Vairochana Sambodhi, Manda is essence. Manda is essence. Manda is La is leading. So that Drakpa Gyaltsen continues by describing the nature of the mandala as being a manifestation or projection of the awareness of enlightenment, and that this has two aspects, the inner mandala and the outer. The inner mandala is that non-dual awareness of enlightenment that itself has no form, color, and so forth. The outer mandala has form and structure and is described for the benefit of unenlightened beings as a means to attain enlightened awareness. This outer mandala, which has the structure of a divine palace, is not enlightened awareness itself, but it is used as a means to help realize that awareness. It embodies or grasps the essence of that enlightenment and both symbolizes that final goal and is also used as a tool on the path to enlightenment. The divine palace is not considered real in any sense, and neither are the deities that are imagined within it. This gets a little bit, well, I'm just going to read it. There is no concept of a creator god in Buddhism, and the deities that are described are not considered to exist in this world or any other in any literal sense, even through the mythology that accompanies many of them. The mythology that accompanies many of them is very rich and full of wonderful stories. That mythology helps practitioners to develop a proper feel for the spiritual reality that the deity and its divine palace represent. To paraphrase Dragpa Gyaltsen, the images and mythologies of the outer mandala are not real, but are described as means to help achieve the realization of the inner mandala, the awareness of enlightenment that is real. These images are part of the vocabulary that is used in ritual and meditation to communicate with and about that spiritual reality. Perhaps we could say that they are a metaphorical reality representing the state of enlightenment. That's interesting. Anyway, what I really wanted to share, and it dawned on me, oh my goodness, I have a little note that says they'll receive a recording. So of course I'm sharing literally what I'm doing in this moment, which is reading about the Kala Chakra mandala, and that mandala meaning leading to the essence. So I have a million more pages of this particular book to read. And there's an empowerment in the yoga teacher training that I am in, but I need to set aside 3 straight hours to be able to do it. But anyway, it's inspiring that thought around the Reiki symbols that I had a couple months ago, where the symbols shifted for me and became like this 3-dimensional opportunity of what's inside of us to explore. So if you're unfamiliar with Reiki, there's one symbol that is the power symbol. There's one symbol that's a mental, emotional symbol. There's another one that is a more spiritual healing symbol. There's a distance symbol that helps the practitioner to send Reiki anywhere in space and time, past, present, future, uh, in any way, shape, or form. And so the beauty, and I don't know if they're really connected to Tibetan Buddhism. I did a little bit of research and there's some conflicting information. Um, but I still think that the way that I'm feeling, that is something that I'm going to explore. And it's reminding me of my days when, when I went to originally, when I did my bachelor's degree, it was in interior design. And so a lot of the foundational courses were in drafting and drawing. And so one part of that, I think it was like it was my senior year of college that I began to learn how to draw. Um, it's called an axonometric. So it's three-dimensional, it's technical three-dimensional drawing, where you have basically a floor plan. So I'm thinking, right, the symbols are kind of the floor plan if I draw them out, and the outline of the symbols are the width of a wall, and then so an axonometric drawing means that you tilt it on an axis, and then you pull the lines up, and so whatever floor plan you have turns into a three-dimensional drawing, right? So then it looks like the actual space that you're creating. Anyway, um, that's something that I definitely want to explore with the symbols. And it's interesting because with Reiki, like all of the study of yoga and Buddhism is so much about going within, right? And also when you learn this stuff, if you have that desire to sharing the wisdom from direct sources as much as possible, like, for me, I always try to pull from who I think are the best teachers. That's where I share from, and then my personal experience. um and the wisdom of yoga and Buddhism is always going within yourself and doing the work, right? Going within, doing the work, knowing that we can transform, uh and discover and uncover the parts of ourself that we may have, we've covered up for whatever reason, the way we were raised, social conditioning, the constructs of our mind, the things that we have put into place to sort of like as protection mechanisms, whether we realize it or not, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So when we're called to a path and we begin to practice it and we're studying the path, it always points us inside. And, Reiki, it definitely has its roots in Japan. But I think originally, if you trace that back, it probably traces back to India. I could be wrong. Again, I need to do more research. Anyway, now Reiki, when you get a Reiki session from a practitioner, it can be, I mean, I've been doing it for years. I've seen probably, I don't even know, thousands of clients for Reiki, um, because I had the benefit of being a massage therapist, right? So it was easy to talk about Reiki and and people would want to try Reiki treatments and combine Reiki and massage. And um, so I've done a lot of those over the years, and there's a huge benefit. But I've always thought that one of the downfalls was that um, it's like the expectation from the client on the practitioner to sort of create some kind of an effect. And like when I first got into it, I thought, wow, this is amazing because we get to, like, as a practitioner, I get to help people heal, right? And as time has gone by, I've shifted to realize that, it's an honor and a blessing when someone's on my table and I get to hold space for them while they do whatever healing they're meant to do in that time. Okay. And Reiki is sort of like the energy or the vibration of love, a universal life force energy. That's what Reiki means. Um, so to hold that space, and I do believe that the individual is responsible for the healing that they're doing versus me doing anything. And now Reiki definitely, it's been shown over and over again. They use it in hospitals, they use it before and after surgery, that it definitely calms people down or reduces pain. Um, healing touch does that. Loving awareness presence does that. Um, but the real healing, it definitely comes from doing the exploration, as you know, right? We talk about this all the time in meditation, and if you've done any yoga classes with me or training with me, it's always the exploration of self. And so it makes sense that these symbols, the Reiki symbols, are a form of that exploration, right? I can do Reiki sessions all day long and use the symbols in session, and yeah, I've seen some miraculous things from the continuity of showing up for sessions, because the people that do it continuously, and they have no choice if they're working with me but to work on themselves, right? So it's never me. I'm not healing anyone. They are healing themselves. And so I think that within these symbols, based on what I'm learning in Tibetan Buddhism and the way that they use visualization as a tool for exploration, that it makes sense that these Reiki symbols are, even though they might not be Tibetan, they are an exploration for healing. Anyway, that's where my mind is right now when I remembered that I promised a recording. So hopefully this is even slightly interesting to you. And it's on my list. It's pretty high up there as a project that I want to work on. So creatively, I would like to, I will draw these and maybe create paintings around them. And uh you can probably hear my dog snoring, by the way. Yes, she is a beautiful, what are you? A Buddha? Ellie, you're a Buddha. Uh anyway, and maybe getting people together to explore these and see. I don't know. I don't really know. But anyway, I really, when I read the meaning, leading to the essence, that's when that light bulb went off. Leading to the essence. It reminded me of the symbols. They do already, like in my experience, they lead us to the essence of our true nature, right? And so then if we create these three-dimensional images of what that means, and we're able to sort of mentally go in to these different explorations that I have always believed they correlate with the chakra system. That I thought of that today, is connecting all the symbols as like a path to explore the energy points in the body in the sacred temple of the symbols. Again, I don't know if you're hanging in there with me on this one, but super interesting stuff. It's amazing, the spiritual information that exists in Tibet, and learning that so much of this information was written down and hidden, and then it was lost and it was burnt. And so I feel that what continues, what exists to this day it's very, very special. And it's, to me, you know, what it can always come back to, I always do come back to Ram Dass and loving awareness. Everything is loving awareness, right? When all the definitions in Buddhism, and uh it's very refined and deep. It's a lot of information, and I'm totally drawn to it. And then sometimes I need to, like, this is where the kirtan comes in. Just chant and sing, right? Chant and sing the names of God, and remember, we sing our own praise, right? We sing our own praise to remember who we are. That's what the Hanuman Chalisa is about, singing Hanuman's praise. So Hanuman remembers who he is. And then we invite Hanuman into our heart, right? We invite those qualities into our heart. We sing the praise of God and then invite that into our own heart so we can remember who we are. So there's always that beautiful simplicity of kirtan, which I hope I see you all Tuesday night at 6 to 8. Come sing and discover, invite those qualities into your heart. And then, of course, we explore through meditation and Buddhism and yoga, and we learn these bits and pieces of things to sort of open our mind to what is possible, outside of these boxes that we exist in, whether physically, cubicles or houses or families, and things where we feel like that we have to relate to these different identities. When you can sort of step out of that, and I talked last week about boredom. I know none of this, well, maybe you're bored, but to me, none of this is boring. But when you allow yourself the freedom to hear your intuition and what you're truly led to, and how that expresses itself creatively, that's your heart. That's the wisdom. That's the beauty of life, is allowing these things, even everything that I'm saying tonight. Maybe it seems far out or whatever, but like, can you just allow the essence of it to be absorbed without trying to understand? That's something that I've learned that makes a lot of sense, and that have felt, but I always felt like maybe I wasn't understanding it because I couldn't verbalize it. And then I heard teachers that I love say, maybe you don't understand exactly what this means, but you can absorb the essence of it. Let it penetrate your being, and you will understand it. You do understand it. It goes into your energy. These are like attunements, right? They're like these attunements, or these what's the word I'm looking for? Infusion is another word that's kind of coming to me. But yeah, they're like these little initiations into their doorways, little doorways into ourselves that can help that rewiring. Let me think a different way. Let me think outside the box. Let me shift away from any fear that's making all the choices in my life, right? The creativity in Buddhism, the imagination, using imagination is amazing. If you've been in the meditation where we imagine the Buddha over the head, and then we allow that to dissolve in our heart, that has tremendous benefit and impact, because the quality, right? Allowing yourself to connect with the quality of enlightenment as a potential for yourself is beautiful, right? It's like a lot of people they would never even consider something like that. And she's just snoring away. And that's life on my couch. Oh boy. I'll be back on Wednesday. I don't know about Friday. I think actually Josh will be home by then. So Friday should just always look at the schedule. That's always going to be what's happening. Okay. Summer gets a little bit busy. But this is fun. I like to make these little videos. If I wasn't recording this on my phone, I would totally sing for you right now. I've been working on a Govinda, Radha Govinda. It's the essence of it's love without expecting anything in return. I don't know if I'm going to sing it Tuesday night because I have to work with Dan and the drum. But so we have Kirtan this Tuesday night at Joy Karuna 6 to 8. Then there's another one where we at June 29th in one of our members, her yard, Julie Stoddard. Her yard, that's a Saturday, I believe, 5 to 7, June 29th, 5 to 7. Then we have July 14th, Rooted Rose. That's going to be in Atkinson. They're hosting us in their yard. August 18th in Thornton, New Hampshire at Awakening to the Heart Mountain Sanctuary, where we're having our retreat in September. We are there. We're also having a kirtan there, August 18th. That one's 4 to 6 p.m. The one that is in July 14th, I forget what we said, 4 to 6. It'll be on the schedule, but come try it out, man. It is like amazing. Amazing. The way that I came to Kirtan was through my yoga teacher training in 2008. My teacher would, Bhima Loren Fields, she would sing. I remember did not know what was going on. She started singing and people started responding. And I was like, it's pretty weird. I didn't know the words. I was like, how the heck do they know? Like, what is happening? And then she kept doing it. And I was in a 14-month training with her. So that's when I was introduced to Krishna Das and Deva Premal and changed my life. It really brought in a whole new world of seeing things just like this, right? The mandala. All this interesting full circle stuff that happens. Yeah, it became one of my favorite things. She used to sing to us during Shavasana. Ugh, and she had like the sweetest, like best mom kind of voice. And she would sing the song, listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. So sweet. I actually have a recording of Ram Dass singing that. So apparently it's a song. I thought it was hers, but it's a real song. And him singing it, man, that's like, I cried when I heard that. That was just recently that I heard that recording. That one made me cry. All right. I think I'm going to end this here. You can tell that I haven't had real adult conversation. I'm having it with myself right now, but I'm imagining that I'm having it with you. Josh has been away for almost a week, so um between the ins and outs of all the kids, they don't really ask me about my life, so it's mostly just talking to them about their life. And of course, Juliet being 3, everything's about her. So this is probably the first night that I've had a little bit of quiet. And I'm glad that I remembered to do this video because I'm enjoying it. And hopefully you are too. So let me know. And I'll see you Wednesday morning at 7:30. I hope that you are there and that we get to share in meditation together. And whatever questions you might have about what I'm saying now, bring them and maybe I can answer them. I don't know. And I hope that you have a great day and that you allow yourself to be guided by creativity, whatever that means. It doesn't have to be painting or poetry, whatever creativity means to you. It can literally be, I don't know, being in awe of, like, I saw this today in my yard. I'm in awe of how moss was growing on a windowsill. It was so beautiful. Anyway, totally inspiring. So I'll see you Wednesday. Oh, actually, hopefully I see you Tuesday night at Kirtan. Tuesday night at Kirtan. I think we put a $20 donation fee on there. You can, or as able. I would love to be able to give Dan some money. I'd say Joanne, but she doesn't want any money until I pay myself back for all of my investments in it, all the equipment. Anyway, and it's just an exchange. So anyway, I hope I see you Tuesday night. See you Wednesday morning. I'll see you soon, whatever it is. If you've hung out for this whole entire time, then cool. I appreciate you and I'll talk to you soon. Namaste.